Welcome to the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country. This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Oh yeah. Funky Tuesday. Oh. A Funky Tuesday. It's Funky Tuesday. Funky Tuesday.
He's saying funky.
Funky.
Right,
Yes, Funky
so,
Tuesday.
yeah.
But he's doing it kind of sexy like.
Funky Tuesday.
Oh, hang on, I'll do it. Funky Tuesday. Funky Tuesday.
Sounds a lot like something else.
It is pretty funky though, to be fair.
Yeah. And I tell you what, why not? It's a funky show we've got today.
I tell you, man, it's cool. It's a great opening, but and you doing that Funky Tuesday was pretty cool too. But while you're squatting, it's kind of. I know you're trying to do 100 squats a day, Lee Hart, but squatting while you're doing the show, I'm finding it very disconcerting, to be honest.
Funky Tuesday. Ooh, looped round. Hey, what have we got coming up, Jace?
I tell you what, mate, it's a hell of a show. We've got an amazing amount of guests. Apparently, Tom's organised some great stuff for us.
Chuck some names at me.
Oh, Helen Clark talks about the first 100 days of Jacinda Ardern's I was going to say presidency. She's not a president. She's the Prime Minister.
That's right.
We'll be
We're gonna be
speaking
Simon
to
Bridges.
Simon Bridges. We'll be chatting to Simon Bridges. Well, you know, I'm still a little bit filthy about that because I was pretty certain you were going to get the National Party leadership, to be honest.
No, I looked into it and I thought, you know what? Nah. I'll be part of that.
Nah, fair enough. And Matt was having a chat to me before the show saying that, you know, he kind of feels that there's some stuff that he wants to contribute and he feels a bit inhibited about it.
In the show?
In the show. And I said, mate, you unload. You unload, Matt, whenever you want to on the show.
The problem was, the other night, he rang me up and told me that he was watching the George Harrison documentary.
Oh, yes.
And obviously he's been watching that and thinking, oh, there's all those years where George was kind of pushed down with Paul and John.
Well,
and then he had all the stuff after all these hits came out later on, of course. But anyway, we can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. What
are you talking about me then?
Yeah. Slice Her Life. Matty Slice. He's got heaps of stuff.
See, I couldn't possibly encourage. It's not bloody the Matt Ward show.
No, I know, but you were very keen to just get in there and become amongst it.
How about the sick ward?
The injured ward.
Yeah.
The sick ward. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Just really sick things that have happened throughout history. I'm looking. What time's that, Matt?
Hey, it's your show. You tell me, and I'll bowl pace into the sick ward. That's for sure.
I tell you what, you're half correct there. You know whose show it really is? It's the Kiwis out there, mate. That's whose show it is.
Oh, good.
So text 3483. Let us know what you want to hear on the show. Give us a call on the telephone system, which is 0800 Hodaki.
Can we do a bit of impro?
But are you joking? Wacky improv?
Yeah. Can we?
We can call that the mental ward.
That'll be neat. It'll be so good.
A bit later on, Jace, if you're good, we'll do a bit of wacky improv.
Oh, thanks, mate. Here's the Foo Fighters.
Jason Hoyt, Lee Hart. It's Bhuja on Radio Hodaki.
I'm just like massively stiff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And because they say to like plank, you know, for like a minute and then have a break for 10 seconds and plank for, God, mate. And everything. I mean, I'm been planking so much, I'm in a lot of pain, Lee Hart.
You shouldn't be getting stiff whilst planking.
Well, you've got to be stiff while you plank, otherwise it's not planking. If you were loose, it wouldn't be planking, man.
Well, you're not really supporting yourself on your hands if you're stiff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm supporting myself on I'm like a tripod kind of plank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're supposed to just be your front arms.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, well, that explains a lot of things then.
Rigid, sure. Stiff, no.
Now, Lee Hart, I believe that you've got a bit of an issue with cyclists at the moment. Matt Ward, the Night Wolf, Loba de Noche, pointing out that you're doing grumpy old man posts on Facebook.
I didn't actually. I don't. I'm not in charge of my social media all the time. People share things. I press yes and no. You've got to be careful of that nowadays, I realise that. But where is the post? Because it was interesting.
I think you shared a post to do with cyclists.
Yep, but I want to read what it said.
What, taking up the road, causing accidents or traffic issues?
It just was. I wish I could find it because I want to read it. Oh, yeah. Obviously, cyclists were about people getting fit and the healthier and all this sort of stuff and more cars off the road. But the catchphrase was, our government wants people to be healthier. That's fine.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, if you can.
That's fine. There are hundreds of choices, but our road system is not, in capital, a playground for middle-aged people who have recently discovered cycling. Compulsory single file is the solution. Share if you agree, and share you did, Lee Hart.
Yeah. Look, I don't have an issue with cyclists per se. Okay. I don't normally share the stuff because I don't want to take sides on anything because it's like being a radio DJ. You want to be everybody's mate.
Yeah, totally.
I don't want a whole lot of cyclists ringing me up and going, "Hey, you dickhead." I don't need that. I don't need that in my life right now. I get enough of that at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, don't you?
You know who is a cyclist?
Who's that?
Tom.
Yeah.
Well, look, the only issue I don't have an issue with cyclists either. The only issue I have is when they wear those stupid bloody outfits.
Yes.
And they've got cycling shoes on, and they walk into a cafe after they've cycled and get some granola bloody bread and some stupid
Well, my
bloody
issue is this, right?
almond nut latte.
You just described Tom's Tuesday morning.
I don't have an issue with cyclists, but I do think there's no point for them, especially in the city, being, or anywhere really, 2 or 3 abreast.
Sorry?
They don't need to be 2 or 3 abreast on the road.
Oh,
Single file.
abreast, okay.
Nothing wrong with single file. You can't drive along with 2 cars in the middle of the road side by side each other just so you can chat, can you?
No.
But with cyclists, as you get to a bend around the corner, I know roads haven't been built for both, and it's bad for them because you get trucks and stuff that cut them off. I get that, but that's only going to be worse if you're 2 or 3 abreast. Surely,
Have you? Yeah. No. I
single
see,
file. Hate to say it, it's got to be single file.
Have you ever been behind a cyclist and gone, and and I know this is not totally appropriate, gone, my God, that's a great ass, and then gone past and it's a guy? You ever done that?
No.
So you're a pro cyclist then?
Pardon?
You're pro cyclists? I'm pro cyclist.
I'm pro cyclist.
I just want it to be a level playing field. And unfortunately, they'll go, oh, yeah, all the trucks and terrible courier drivers. I get that. But who's going to come off worse? So a bit of common sense. It's a bit like the NRA in a way. They're just, well, I'm not comparing cyclists to the NRA, but they're just grasping onto it's not common sense. If they're going to get killed, or if someone else gets killed in a car crash because they're 2 or 3 abreast, that could be dangerous.
But when else are middle-aged white men going to talk about their golf average? And
well, when they get to the cafe.
Christian Louboutin
When they get to the
loafers?
cafe. And how come this? Why? I've said it before. Why do they not have to obey normal rules of, say, a motorbike? Why at a traffic light can they decide, oh, I'm a pedestrian now, I'll just cross when I want, when it's red or green, they can just keep going through because no car's coming. But when it suits them, they're all of a sudden on the road, they're saying they deserve as much the road as everyone else. All of a sudden, no, I'm a proper, they just take or leave or whatever if they want. Put your feet down because they've got their bloody shoes strapped into the pedals, so they can't. You've got to stop at the red lights like everyone else.
Did you give him that soapbox again?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Hey,
that was
tell me this.
that was Lee Hart's My 2 cents.
How
You
many,
got a stamp for that,
how many
Matty?
wheels does motorbike
Oh,
have?
God, here we go.
How many wheels does motorbike have?
2.
Right. Motorbike, right? Registered, licensed. How come a motorbike has to have mirrors? How come a cyclist doesn't have to have mirrors? Answer me that, someone. And you got me. That's my 2 cents.
Crikey. The Black Keys there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. Don't forget, you can always text us 3483. And looking at the text right now, Lee Hart, actually, interestingly enough, your My 2 cents, a lot of supporters of what you said about cyclists.
It looks like I've done wheeze on a hornet's nest here. And
Yes.
a lot of... as an ex-cyclist, I still agree with you, Lee. Was out the back of nowhere when I was training and had no issues. If these Ponzi bastards who want to ride through town, blah, 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 Sunday riders talking shit up, taking up half the road. Yeah, okay.
Can I just say from my angle, being an avid cyclist, what really gets my goat when you're talking, particularly the inner city, is people that drive these massive bloody Pajeros or massive trucks that are designed to go bush and to go all around the sort of outer wilderness, driving in the inner city with these completely unnecessarily huge cars that block up and congest and ruin places like Ponsonby.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I agree with that. And that's making the cyclist problem even worse. But the cyclists need to be aware of that, unfortunately, because they're the ones, as I say, that will come off second best. And I don't want anyone getting hurt out there. I will stay behind a cyclist. I won't try and overtake. and risk running into another car coming on.
You're a bloody good Kiwi,
I'll
mate.
just go, bugger it, I'll sit here. I've got a slightly more patience than I probably used to, or than some other people have. But if you're a cyclist and you don't agree with some of what I'm saying, you are part of the problem. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, no, you've made
I want
your
to see
point,
more
mate.
cyclists out there. I like these. I actually thought the other day I saw these cycleways and I think, I wonder if I should get a bike. I'm trying to get a bit
I can't
fit
imagine
again.
you on a bike.
No, neither can I.
It would be like watching a bear on one of those tiny unicycles. You know what I mean? You'd be. I remember actually being down at Victoria Park and seeing Jonah Lomu, the great Jonah Lomu, on a bike, and he seriously looked like this massive giant riding a kid's tricycle.
Yep.
It was ridiculous.
Someone said here, and cyclists don't pay $53 a month as I do. Presumably that's a Rego thing. Been seeing cyclists on their cell phones while riding too.
Oh, just.
Yeah, but they don't all do that, but that's fine. No Rego Warrior Fitness. Stick to the tracks and parks. Look, I don't believe that. I like to see cyclists on the road, okay? No problems in other countries. But, come on. 2 or 3 abreast, no way.
Fair enough,
Said
mate.
my piece.
Yeah, you've said your piece. It's been put out there.
And another thing.
Yeah, no, by all means, please get it out while you
No,
can.
that's it. That's
Don't let it sit and fester inside, Lee Hart.
Actually, I'm going to bring... Tom, can you come through here, please? Have we got time to chat to Tom about this? Or do we... Thanks, mate. How you going?
A little bit worried right now, to be honest.
No,
Right.
I'm just going to put you on the spot slightly. You're a
Okay.
cyclist, and that's good.
Yeah.
You cycle every day to work, back and forth?
Yeah, yeah.
By yourself, normally?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think about cyclists 2 or 3 abreast?
Idiots.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're a cyclist.
2 or 3 breasts, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah,
2 or
that-
3 abreast.
Oh,
That means
abreast.
Side by
Right, okay.
side. I mean, that's just, to me, it's slightly arrogant. And because you've got no rear vision mirrors, which I keep getting on about, you're oblivious to everyone on Dominion Road behind you who's just itching to keep moving before the lights change and with cars coming toward them.
Do you wear the tight clothing and all that sort of stuff, Tom, or are you too cool and hip for that still?
No, I put on the grid girl costume when I come into work.
Oh,
each day.
the Hodaki Grid Girl
Yeah, I
stuff.
got to get branding out there, so.
Jeez.
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
good. It's a good job you're doing that. All I'm saying is, you would agree with what I'm saying?
With the 2 abreast thing, 3 abreast thing, yeah. for
Yeah,
sure.
totally, because cyclists are the ones that will come off worse in a bad situation. We don't want to see that. So why the hell would they not go single file? You can hardly talk when you're on a bike anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks,
good on
mate,
you,
that's
mate.
fine.
That's good. Should we go to a tune?
Yeah.
Here's Frank Ferdinand. Guns N' Roses there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. Very nice to have your company, by the way, New Zealand. God, this isn't really a slice of life, but I was doing the old... I guess it is now. Dog Squad today.
Yeah, let's just remind the listeners, you do the voiceover
Of dog,
for
yeah,
the reality TV show Dog Squad.
yeah, it's all about police dogs and all that sort of stuff. And as I
That's
was...
one of the many things you do, Jason.
Well, it's one of the many-
busy life of Jason Hoyt.
Yes, indeed, mate. And it's in a new place, and I was walking across the grass to get up into the reception area, and I stood on dog poos. You know, what do you do in that situation? I'm about to go into a recording studio,
Yeah.
and I've got like a heavily gridded shoe, and I stand on dog poos.
Does it affect your tone? For example, what's one of the dog's names that you repeatedly be using?
I think one of them was Beaver.
Yeah, so you're going to be angry at the dogs, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're going to be going, the voiceover probably would go, then Beaver picks up another lead. You know, then Beaver...
Picks up another lead, yeah, because you're exactly right, mate.
And the
Because
stupid dog
it
Beaver...
was a stupid dog that did the poos. But I mean, I've never, and I don't know about you, and look, Matt's not even paying attention. He's just got, he was actually asleep then. I don't know about you, but I've still not found a good way of cleaning poos from your shoe. How do you do it? I mean, especially when it's not even my property and I'm going into a studio. What do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
How do you clean the poos from a heavily gridded shoe?
Got a bit of a top tip for you.
Yeah.
Foil.
What? So you're saying that I foil the grid of my shoe so that if I do stand on poos, I unwrap the foil and it's not in my grid.
Exactly right, mate.
Okay, well that's bloody good top tip actually. I might start doing that because it was actually, and you know when you're standing there, right? And you know they're talking to you about the episode and what sort of in it, and you're in the studio and there's just this smell of poos.
Yep.
And you're trying to pretend like it's not you that's got poos in your shoe. You're just standing there, but you can tell other people know that there's this.
It's quite ironic, isn't it? You're doing a voiceover for Dog Squad, and you're in the you stink of dog poos.
And I stink of dog poos. Well, it's like you with Steve in the car.
Yep. Well, that's slightly different.
Well, I mean, that's someone actually pooing in your car. It's not you with poo in your shoe. But God, it was embarrassing. It was painful.
So that's a slice of life. Would put
Well,
that down as-
that's what happened to me today, so I guess it is.
The other thing they're trying to get rid of plastic bags, of course, for the in general, which I'm a big supporter of. So are you.
Yeah.
Remember, I had the voiceover. Greenpeace got me to do the voiceover for the new ad.
Yes.
Then they heard my voice and said, "No, that's no good."
Yeah.
And I went, "Okay, well, I'll get someone else." And I said, "Look, I've got a mate here at the studio. He'll do it." I gave the job to you.
Yeah.
You did a couple of versions.
Yeah.
And they rejected that as well.
Yes, they did.
Apparently, Sam Neill's got the job
Did
now.
Sam do it? Did he?
But anyway, plastic bags are going, hopefully in the future. Who knows? But very good for picking up poos. What I've started doing...
Well, there was no picking the poos up. It was squashed in the grid of my shoe.
No,
How
I'm
can you
talking
pick
about general.
Oh, right, yeah.
In the general situations. What I do now when I take Benny out, I just strap the bag to his ass, if you know what I mean.
And
he's
gaffer
walking-
tape it around.
Yeah, so
Yeah, nice.
he just walks and he'll just go straight into the bag now.
Like a full diaper at the end of
Yeah.
it. There she had. She had there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. Lee Hart, Jason Hoyt, and Loba de Noche.
This day in history, Jace, in 1935,
Yep.
Hitler organises the Luftwaffe, the Air Force, of course.
What do you mean he organised it? Wasn't
Well, they
that
were banned.
Wasn't that gerbils?
No, what happened? He was banned. Germany was banned from having an air force
because of the Treaty of Versailles, of course.
the First World War. So, but in 1935, he signs a secret decree authorising the founding of the Luftwaffe as a third
Luftwaffe.
German military service. Yeah, and Hermann Goering he appointed to run it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Today
That
in
must have
history.
made Poland very nervous.
Yeah.
Fair enough, too.
And of course, the Goering, of course, the war trials. After the war, Hitler obviously killed himself in the bunker. They had the Nuremberg war trials, 1945, 1946. Goering was their big
fish.
The big fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And found guilty along with all the other guys, was going to be hung, and took cyanide pills in his cell before they could hang him.
Yeah.
Cheated
Yeah.
death. Well,
He
death.
didn't cheat death because he
cheated the
died, didn't
hangman's
he?
noose, as they say.
And I was noticing actually on the what was the theme today, Matt? There was legends, wasn't it? Musical legends or something?
Yeah, there was a very political term used. It was departed legends.
Oh, departed legends. Okay.
To be fair, it was more just ODs and suicides. But yeah, that does sound a lot better. Departed legends.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that. I mean, I've stepped in that particular dog do enough times to not go
Yeah,
there
yeah.
again. But well, that's fascinating stuff.
I'm surprised I didn't tell you to take the week off or the day off when we were doing that
Yeah,
segment.
well, so was I actually, because it was tailor-made for me to come and put my foot in it. Absolutely it was. Hey,
Here's a bit of a question for you.
yes, no, do.
I was having a religious conversation with someone.
Is this a hypothetical question or a...
Are you covering politics and religion? in
I'm
one
just
break?
I'm just on a roll. And
Wait, is this the Bhuja hypothetical, though?
no, it's not hypothetical.
Okay.
It's just ridiculous. Now look, the Bible, okay?
Jeez, we've got to
We've
play
gone.
ad-
We've
we've got to
jumped from cyclist to the Bible.
Are we supposed to take it literally or not? I mean,
We've got to play ads soon.
the Old Testament. Look, what they're trying to tell us, we all came from Adam and Eve, correct?
Yes.
We're all descendants of Adam and Eve.
Yes.
Adam and Eve had 3 sons. You do the math. Are they saying that one or more of their sons ended up hooking up with Eve as well?
Well, they must.
Well, if they're not, there's no other way of it working out.
Don't know how Adam would have felt about that.
There you go. So this is ridiculous. If you're going to make a story up, make it up properly. At least, make it 2 different families that God formed. Then they hooked up. How stupid. How to come up with a half-baked story and only later on go, oh, damn, we should have added another family in there. We should have added another character. This doesn't work now, does it?
And that was another episode of Lee's 2 Cents. Daft Punk there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. The phone lines have gone crazy, so let's just not muck around and go straight to a caller. G'day, Matt.
Hello,
Hello, how you going?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Who are we speaking to?
Hadley.
Hadley, how you going, buddy?
Not too bad yourself?
Yeah, good, man, good. Well, I'm a bit sore. I've been doing a lot of planking. And, the muscles...
We get it. You go to the gym.
The muscles are a bit sore, Hadley.
I've been hearing that, but I hear the hemorrhoid cream would be helping that a little bit, wouldn't it? Or?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing there. I've got the hemorrhoids going on, so I'm just
a lot of stuff, man.
I've got a lot of suffering going on. Where are you calling from, Hadley?
I'm calling from Hamilton.
Beautiful. How's Hamilton today?
It's all right. It's a bit overcast, but it's all right.
Same here, actually.
Hadley, can I ask you, are you a cyclist?
I am not a cyclist, no.
Thoughts on the 2 or 3 abreast situation?
I've done a little bit of it in the past, and it's just too sore on the old bottom, so I gave that up pretty quickly.
Well,
that's the other thing about cyclists is the actual cycles. The seats are tiny. Looking at your ass, Lee Hart, there's no way you could go on one of those cycles.
Well, it'd be fair if you didn't.
Pardon? Oh, look at your ass.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I can't help it when you're wearing the Daisy Dukes and you're bending over bloody picking stuff up. Sorry, Hadley. Sorry, we digress.
That's all right. That's all right.
Listen, my friend, what are you calling up about?
I heard the Bhuja Hawk, I believe.
Yes, you did, my friend. So stay on the line. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the listening,
No
Hadley.
worries.
And
No
Tom
worries.
Thanks
will sort you out.
Hadley.
Thanks,
Thank
Hadley.
you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
mate. Thanks, mate. Arctic monkeys there on our Daddy Bhuja. Just 3 plastic bags, Lee Hart. I tell you what I've been getting into the habit of doing with my plastic bags is before I come into work or if I, leave home for the day, I get a plastic bag and I just fill it full of cold water and I tie it up. I go into my little back garden there and I just hang that, that plastic bag of water in the garden and it just sits there all day in the sun and so forth. I come and do my radio show, do my top radio DJ stuff and it's sweaty work, isn't it? It's really sweaty. It's hard yakka. And so then when I get home, I just, strip off all my gear. I leave work in the studio. I go over to my plastic bag that's been hanging up there in the afternoon all day, poke a couple of holes in it, just have a nice, refreshing, natural shower in the backyard. And I tell you what, mate, that's more than one use for your plastic bag, isn't it?
It certainly is. What do you do with it then, though? With the
I
holes
just
in it?
chuck it after that.
Yeah. I thought you said you're going to feed the plants with it, but no, that's a great idea.
Yeah, well, it's just, and it saves water at home as well. Well, I suppose they use water, but, it only lasts about 5 seconds as well, so you got to really scrub yourself pretty quickly.
Yeah, what I tend to do is something similar, actually. I'll get maybe half a dozen plastic bags when I'm about to come into work, especially if it's a hot day. And I'll stick those over the top of plants, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So
Over
you're
the
creating
leaves.
like a greenhouse.
Like a little bit of a greenhouse, and I'll put little cups of water underneath. The condensation will form around those plants, and the water will drizzle down and fill up those cups with water. Okay, that's a great way of saying water.
So the plastic bag's over the top of the plant, and you've got cups around the fringe.
Yep, that's right.
Okay,
and it'll
oh, that's clever.
It'll condensation, and you get the water. It's a great survival thing if you're in the desert, for my SAS training and stuff. But it's also good if you're trying to save water at home.
Bloody great
idea, way to
idea,
teach
mate.
the kids an appreciation of ecosystems and that kind of thing.
And water preservation and stuff like that as well, mate. I mean, I tell you what's also really good. I was round at a mate's place, and he's just one of those guys, right, that is just really practical. Mm-hmm. He's really good at practical jobs and stuff. And what he does with his plastic bags is he hangs a plastic bag like on his on the door of his pantry, and he just chucks all the other plastic bags inside the plastic bag. Yep. And so rather than having a drawer full of plastic bags, he's just got a plastic bag with plastic bags.
Yep.
Bloody clever.
Well, what I do sometimes when at the end of the year when I've built up a lot of plastic bags.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously I've got the ones I need for my ecosystems and this kind of stuff up at Eco Lodge.
Yeah.
And your solar showers and things. But what I'll do, I'll get like a big a pot, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah.
And I'll chuck them all in there and melt them down into a sort of liquid plastic kind of thing. So you just stir it.
Right, like you do with the plastics up at the Eco Lodge.
That's right, but you got to keep it hot.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you cool it down, it will congeal into a big lump. And then what I do, I'll get molds. I'll go to maybe the
like a warehouse or Bunnings or something like that.
Yeah. You get some of their toys in that they've got. Okay, make molds of them.
Yes.
The plastic toys. Then I'll pour my plastic into the molds.
Oh, clever.
And replicate those plastic toys and then give them to the Salvation Army and stuff around Christmas.
That's a bloody good idea, mate.
Yeah.
So it's just really good for all the people out there listening to the show, Lee Hart, to know that there's so many things you can do with plastic bags.
Plastic moulding.
You know, not just one use. There's multiple uses, and we'll be going through a few more later on in the show. And speaking of which, coming up after 5 on Daily Bhuja, it'll be Lee Hart's Name That Tune.
Daily Bhuja with KBC Smoky Barbecue Bacon Burger. Now with 25% more from New Zealand. Playing tunes of their last 8 albums. This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
It sure is great to have you company this Tuesday afternoon. Hope you're having a good one.
Tell you what, Jace, it's just me. I don't take this the wrong way, but have I kind of been almost holding the show up a little bit on my own? I mean, look, I've had a political rant. I've done an opinion piece on cyclists. I've done a controversial piece on the origins of the Bible.
On the Bible, yeah.
Just to name a few. Today in history.
Well, I
talked
don't
about the Luftwaffe.
I don't know that you've been holding the show up. I think that you've just been talking a lot.
I've been bringing a lot to the party.
You've certainly brought a lot to the party, and it's almost like you've had a lot to get off your chest.
But the Luftwaffe and stuff.
Oh no, just in general. You know, Bible and cyclists. And, I mean, the cyclist thing went on for about 10 minutes. It's obviously something
it's ongoing, by the way.
It's really getting your goat. But I tell you what, the time is 5:04, which means, of course, it's time for Lee Hart's Name That Tune. See, you're doing it again. Now it's your Name That Tune.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Lee Hart Show.
Well, not really, Jason. I'm just saying it'd be nice if you guys could maybe pull your weight a bit in the second half. Now, look,
I did some great stuff about poos, dog poos in the shoe grid. I did some great stuff. There's some great stuff about plastic bags. I did some great sort of stuff between, you know,
I don't know if your dog poo stuff worked, to be honest. I think it was a little bit highbrow for a lot of, talking about Dog Squad and that. Not everyone knows you do that voice over there.
Well, I prefaced it by saying I was going in to do Dog Squad, and ironically stood in a dog poo.
It's just a bit in-house, Jason.
Yeah, okay, no, fair enough. What have you got for us today, mate?
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and put the rock and roll back into the station. I feel lately it's just been lacking. We're going down the bit of the fruity canal at the moment.
The fruity canal?
Of music.
Well, hey, hang on. We had musical legends today for the top, what was it, 10?
Yeah, but I wouldn't agree with most of that, let's be honest. It's half-assed.
Just say what you mean, Lee Hart.
Yeah. If you ask me, that just looks like a list of songs we wanted to play anyway, and we shoehorned them into, let's get the ones that are dead of the people we were going to play anyway. Didn't look like a vote to me whatsoever. It could be just my opinion. I don't know. How would I know how it works here?
True, mate. Hey, but boy, I'm looking forward to this Name That Tune, because the way you are today, I've got a feeling it's going to be pretty passionate.
Yeah. Here we go. Get your ears to the speakers, Kiwis. Here we go.
If you can name that tune, New Zealand, give us a call right now on 0800 Hodaki. Love to hear from you.
Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt until 7 tonight on Radio Hodaki.
MGMT there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. Before that, of course, we had Lee Hart's Name That Tune. As always, the phone lines have gone crazy. So let's...
Oh, no, we've got to play it.
Oh, you got to play it again. Let's go to the phone lines.
Very simple.
Johnny is there. G'day, mate.
Yeah, g'day, mate.
How you going, Johnny?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks, buddy. Where are you calling from?
Hamilton, mate.
Oh, sweet. A few calls from Hamilton today. Good stuff. Now, Johnny, can you name that tune?
Yeah, I think it might be American Woman by Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, I can see why you might think that.
Yeah, so can I, actually. But I'm afraid it's not, Johnny.
No, I'll get it. Well.
But appreciate the call, man, and thanks for listening. Have a great afternoon.
You too, mate.
Thanks, mate. Let's go to Ben in Auckland. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How you going, Ben?
Yeah, not too bad, bro.
Excellent. Where are you working at the moment?
Oh, working out in Hobsonville.
Okay, good site, is it? You're a builder, I see.
Yeah.
Good crew?
Yeah, great crew.
How are your clients? Because Lee quite often hires builders, and apparently he can be a right piece of work to work for. What he does, Ben, is he does all these designs that he has no intention of going through with. He gets the builders to build it, And then halfway through he goes, "What are you doing? I don't want that."
Sounds a lot like what we're getting used to, so...
Yeah.
And how does it work on the site there? Do you all listen to Bhuja in the afternoon?
Most definitely. Sitting in traffic in the morning.
Can we do a quick shout out to someone out there?
We'll get a shout out to Matt.
To Matt?
Down in Queenstown.
Bit of shout out to Matt down in Queenstown.
Good stuff,
There you
Ben.
go.
All right, buddy, can you name that tune?
Yeah, I think that's Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Of course it is. I thought that was going to be a real easy one there. I'm surprised Johnny got it wrong. Hey, Ben, well done, buddy. Stay on the line and Tom will sort you out with... God, I don't even know anymore what we've got to give away. But it'll be something, I'm sure.
Alright, sweet as.
Moon TV Series 1.
Oh, God. Thanks, mate.
I made that up. I don't actually know.
I haven't heard... Green Day, awesome. Green Day there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. Looking forward to dinner tonight, Lee Hart. I'm doing a beautiful Mediterranean chicken.
Beautiful.
Some diced apricots, olives, and this. It's actually my wife that's making it with this beautiful sauce on, and you just rest that chicken and all that sauce and olives and apricot on top of a bed of couscous, and it all seeps in there. Looking forward to it, mate. Incidentally, text us on 3483. What are you having for dinner tonight? Because we do actually like to know what the Kiwis are eating out there, Lee Hart.
That's right. I'm going to chuck something at you, Jace. I mean, you brought it in there nicely with food. Do you like ribs? Pork ribs?
Hello.
Well, I'll tell you what, I met some people at Meatstock.
Oh, yeah, cool.
They're called aboutthegrill.com. And they do this amazing sort of really meaty pork ribs.
Yum.
And text in 3483 now. Tell us what you have for dinner. The best one, we'll send out a pack of these barbecue ribs. Ready to go, just heat them up.
Yeah, beautiful. Are they marinated? Can I ask you
Yeah,
that?
they're marinated, but they're not too sweet.
Oh, nice.
That's the key. And we'll get aboutthegrill.com 1 kg vacuum-packed baby back pork ribs, already cooked and basted. Just need to be heated on the barbie, and we'll get them sent out to you.
Oh, beautiful. I tell you what, there's nothing like a good, juicy pork rib. You know what I mean?
These were good, mate. These were good.
I could hoe into those all evening, Lee Hart, very happily indeed. What about you? Because you're on some sort of weird diet again, aren't you? Because of you're doing the gym thing, but you can't really be arsed with the gym, so you're trying to lose weight by a diet or something you were saying? Or
Yeah, no, not really diet. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest, Jason. I'm still finding my way with it.
Okay.
But when I work it out and it works, I'll put it all in a book and sell it.
Well, I can always kind of tell how you're travelling because, you know, when you turn up to the gym, when you turn up to work in your tracksuit pants and your work shoes, I know that know that you're sort of caught between two worlds. You want to get on with the job of doing your job and also the job of getting fit, but you actually end up doing neither.
Yeah, right.
Having said that, today, boy, you've been on fire on the corporate front.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Text in now and you win those ribs. Tell you who else does really good ribs?
Who's that, mate?
Hellas.
Do they?
They do a great rib. Heat up, chuck them on the barbie, heat them up straight away.
Oh, beautiful. You like a rib, Maddie?
Love a rib.
Do you want to go to I can see you poised over the panel there.
No.
Oh, let's do it anyway.
I will if you want me to.
Yeah, no, go and do it. I was at Fat Freddy's.
No one to rush you.
No, it's all good, mate.
All right, that's good. Well, it started now. We have to.
Lee Hart, Jason Hoyt, and the Bhuja Hawk. Till 7 tonight on Radio Hodaki.
The Cure there on Daily Bhuja. Why are you looking at baby photos?
Pardon?
Oh, it's just
No, I see what you're saying, yeah. No, what happened there, I was on Facebook.
Yeah, and there's all these babies.
People came up and, there's some sort of Facebook friends you may have had. There's maybe some girls there you used to know. And all of a sudden, you're just clicking on them and it turns out they've had a baby or something.
Yeah.
And it kind of look weird because you're looking at them holding them, It's a little awkward, but, these are... I wasn't looking at the babies or, I wasn't looking at...
What the babies were doing.
I didn't know that.
Feeding, you mean?
I didn't know that they were breastfeeding. At the time when I opened the picture, I was just sliding through the pictures and that one came up. God.
Right, okay. No, that's fair enough. No, that's just... What
are you implying? All I'm saying is...
I just went round behind because you had that look in your eye that you get sometimes, and I was looking at the photos going, what the hell? Dodge. Hey, I was
Better than what I'm looking at.
what are you looking at the moment, Maddie?
My uncle went to Waiheke Island on the weekend and uploaded a whole bunch of different letterboxes that he liked.
See, a bit of a letterbox enthusiast.
Starting to look that way.
I used to have a great auntie Mamie that was a salt and pepper shaker enthusiast. So much so, I kid you not, she had, I think, about 4,000 or 5,000 salt and pepper shaker sets.
Right.
And they were just all in glass cabinets around her house. And she lived by herself, and it was quite sad. But
I
she's
guarantee
lovely.
that you could go there for dinner and you'd want salt, you couldn't find it.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any salt and pepper. Hey, now I was speaking to Mike Lane today. He was showing me a number of sites for possible mural sites for the Daily Bhuja mural.
Okay. And what sites for the mural so far have been?
Just a lot of small towns around New Zealand really keen to have a Daily Bhuja mural.
South Island as well?
South Island as well. In fact, I believe we're going down to Dunedin next Friday.
Yep.
And we're going to do something from the Liquorland down there?
Yeah,
or
Lee Street Liquorland. So if you're down Dunedin, you're probably on orientation now.
Yeah.
Good on you. Get down there, grab a few wacky changies, whatever. But we'll see you next Friday on the 9th down there for a special Bhuja show from the store.
Well, the owner apparently, because Mike put it to him, was pretty keen to have our mural on his wall.
That'd be good.
I mean, you know, that's where a lot of the students go. Our demo, Lee Hart, you know, and they're walking to the liquor store and they see a mural of
A what?
a mural
Yeah.
of Lee and Chase.
You can never have too many moves around the country, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, you know, I used to believe that you've made it once you're on Women's Day.
Yeah, no,
but
it's when
now
you're on a
I'm more
mural.
inclined to think that if someone's done a mural of you, then you've really come a long way.
Yeah, would you rather be in Women's Day on the cover or in a mural?
Let's ask the listeners, shall we? Would you rather be in Women's Day or someone paid a mural?
Hey.
Did people text in about their dinners, by the way?
Oh, lots. So we're going to be picking a winner who's going to be winning some ribs very shortly.
Should we do that next?
Yeah.
Great stuff, mate.
Maybe a mural under the bridge.
Jason Hoyt, Lee Hart, it's Bhuja on Radio Hauraki.
Red Hot Chili Peppers there on Daily Bhuja. I tell you what, Lee Hart, some of these meals that people are texting in for dinner
Meals.
tonight, meals, scallops wrapped in bacon with a mozzarella mash.
Yeah.
Hello.
How about this one? Jamo. He's preparing an absolute ring-burning lamb rendang curry for dinner with the intent of sweating out the last of the weekend's misgivings.
Yeah, nice.
I can picture him sitting there, chucking extra spices in depending on how the weekend
I don't
went.
know about you, but whenever I was hungover, the thing that I always craved, weirdly enough, was really spicy hot food. But in hindsight, as Matt was pointing out off air to me, you know, it's not a great thing when you're combining a massively hungover bowel with a bowel that's then inundated with heavy spices.
Right, let's choose one of those then. Jamo with the rendang curry, lamb curry,
that sounds
or the
good.
scallops wrapped in Hellas bacon
Okay.
with mozzarella mash and spring onion.
Well, they both sound bloody good. What do you reckon, Matt? What would you go for personally?
I'd lean towards the rendang, I think.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
I'll
scallops, though.
tell you what. I'm gonna pull something out of the bag here. They both win. They'll be both getting ribs sent to them. I've sent the details to Tom, and he'll sort that out. There
Oh,
you go.
brilliant. And
But
you were
that's all
saying about
thanks to
those...
the fellas there about the grill.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful ribs.
And you were actually saying to me these ribs were so
Really meaty.
meaty, you thought they were actually like lamb shanks a little bit,
Yeah,
or
it
like
was
a
a bit
chop.
weird. I thought, are these beef ribs or something at first before I opened them up, you know?
Yeah,
Hey,
beautiful.
speaking of that sort of stuff, my food bag, you've done that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I've been doing at home, we're talking about plastic bags and this sort of stuff.
Yes.
What I've been doing is a bit of an experiment. You know, at the end of the week, when you go through your old groceries and you've got bits of ingredients left and
Yeah.
a few spring onions left over here and there, and you're about to do your big shop, I like to get rid of all that stuff. So what I've been doing, I've been grabbing, you know, half an onion, you know, all the leftover stuff, and I'll
Your
pop it
veggies.
into plastic bags, and I'll look at what's in that bag. And depending on what's in it, I'll just handwrite some instructions on some possible meals that people can make with those ingredients. I pop them all in the plastic bag, and I deliver it around to all my neighbours, my neighbourhood, like Lee's My Food Bag.
Right, okay.
So what I'm doing, I'm recycling my plastic bags, but also getting rid of my old food, leftovers and stuff that
So you can start...
I start fresh.
Yes.
I'm not wasting food.
Yes.
So that could be half. In a typical bag, you could have a couple of carrots, half an onion, leftover muesli. There could be a little bit of cheese, grated cheese that wasn't used.
What sort of meal would you make out of that then?
All that would probably be some sort of bake. I would say a carrot bake with use the muesli on top as a crust, then some
nice.
cheese, the leftover cheese from
that's
our
clever.
dinner.
Yeah.
And so what I'm doing there, everyone's going to get a different plastic bag with different ingredients.
Well, we had that great idea because we wanted to
Hey,
start...
hold on, just behind you, is this the guy that just won over at? Yeah, get him in.
Just one what?
Over in,
Pardon?
at the Olympic Games, Chase, the Winter Olympics.
Oh, okay, cool. Can you find
Yeah,
out
well-
their names? Now listen,
He's got the ads. So
we had. Oh yes, we will. But listen, we had our idea of the food bag, which was Daily Bhuja. We'll make a meal of it.
We'll make a meal of it. There we go. All
Okay,
right.
well, let's go to a break in this.
Daily Bhuja with KFC's Smoky Barbecue Bacon Burger. Deliciously smoky. Seriously good.
The Matt and Jerry Show.
Well, I asked you, and he goes, but you didn't put it in the ad.
Yeah.
And I said, 1 star.
Really?
Also, when an Uber driver goes to you, hey, that was a good ride, eh? So if you could just give me 5 stars. And I go, 1 star.
Jeez.
1 star for asking for 5 stars.
There's only about 3 or 4 people like you.
Well, I consider myself a policeman.
Oh, good.
1 star.
Matt and Jeremy. The Hodaki Breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. I'm very excited about this. They were literally walking past the studio and we said, come on in here and have a chat. Zoe and Nico, who have just got back from the Winter Olympics, who are 16 years of age, both of them, who are bronze medalists, Lee Hart. Zoe and Nico, g'day, how are you going? We'll turn those on there for you. Sweet as.
You're welcome to the show. What I will say, if you want to, this will be on Facebook as well, just to prove that it is actually you. We've been pulled up before by, well, it was mainly JC. We've had guests in before that actually weren't the real people. And on radio you can get away with that, but it's not the most professional thing, that's all. Hey, look, you've been doing the touring around. You just got back this morning, so you're tired. We're going to talk about the events, of course, but you've been on the other radio stations. What questions did they ask? What was the best question you got?
One of them gave me a pie.
Yeah, they gave us pies.
I got
Many pies, Tom?
steak and cheese pie. So
Did you miss that kind of thing over there? What was the food like over in South Korea?
it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
A lot of fermented stuff.
Yeah,
Lots of fermented stuff.
yeah, fermented cabbage, fermented daikon, fermented onions, eggs. They love it.
Well, it's bloody good for you too, as well. Did you not take your own sort of Marmite and peanut butter and baked beans and all that jazz?
We actually took over some pineapple lumps and some
Well, that's good
Turkey
wholesome fare,
nanas
isn't it?
stuff like that, yeah.
So paint a picture. Over there, you're in some sort of Olympic complex village, I think they call it nowadays. And it's a long time since I've been.
Were you at the Olympics, were you?
I wasn't competing.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, I was over reporting. But the thing is, there though, do you have decent food or is it all kind of weird?
Yeah, there's this massive food hall and it's got heaps of food and everyone goes there, everyone eats together and you get to meet heaps of other athletes, which is cool.
So we have to be very fast here because Matt's going. We've got to go. But were you expecting to win medals?
No, not at all.
So this is an amazing achievement.
I
mean, it's an amazing achievement you even being there,
Yeah.
but getting medals is like the
Icing on the cake.
the cabbage on the top.
Yeah.
Cabbage on
The
the
pickled
top.
cabbage on the top.
Yeah.
Hey, well, listen, you guys, congratulations. We're going to let you go because you need to have some sleep because you haven't slept yet, have you?
No.
Mind you, you're only 16, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Zoe and Nico, thanks so much for coming in.
Brilliant,
For having us.
Thanks for having us.
Unbelievable.
Great
I
to
can't
see
wait
you.
to see what you do next either because it can only get better and better and better.
Yeah. Thank
Great
you.
example. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's probably about probably what the 10th time that song's played today, I think. So if you haven't heard it yet, you'll probably get another shot.
What
later.
actually occurred to me while I was listening to that song very closely this time was how much he sounds like David Bowie.
Yeah, especially that one part there, eh?
Yeah, very much so. Hey, apparently Bernadine Oliver Kirby is furious with us for waylaying Zoe and Nico.
Yeah, look, they asked to come in.
Totally,
they're
they
big
did.
fans of the show, and we're big fans of them. Why can't we have a quick chit chat?
I could not believe how young they were. Nico, he looked about 11. It was unbelievable, wasn't it? Good on them, man. That's fantastic stuff.
I just wish we had more time with them because I really wanted to sort of drill into whether Howard Rudge had been an influence on them.
Totally,
the generational gap in winter sport.
For sure.
Howard Rudge in the early 70s, whether he's still a big name for them or has he just disappeared into the annals of snow history?
The what, sorry? The annals?
Or into the history books.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Is he not relevant?
Well, that's what I mean. They're so young. I wonder if they'd remember Hal. You know what I mean?
Remember him, but surely he would come up in discussions.
Well, you'd think so, and I'm sure that they showed them footage of him skiing and the wonderful athlete that he was.
Well, especially if they were talking about getting to the event, they would have said, "Hey, don't do a Howard Rudge and show up in the summer."
Yeah, exactly.
Tell you what, there's a photo of it though that we took with them, which we're just chucking up on the Daily Bhuja Instagram or Facebook. If you want to put eyes on a couple of bronze medals from the Winter Olympics. Yeah. And us in the same photo.
Yeah, do we look weird?
We look wicked, man.
Oh,
we look old.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, really it's hard not to look old.
I look...
When you're up against 16-year-olds.
I look like I've been around. You two look...
Well,
like we're on the downhill.
What they're going to need is experience as they, get a career path from here.
Well, what I actually wanted to do with the interview, and we didn't have enough time, was to offer my services as some sort of mental mentor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, it's tough times going to the Olympics. Maybe they need someone that's had a bit of experience, not necessarily with the Olympics, but with life, Leha.
You would be a mental mentor.
I would be.
I wanted to see if they wanted to go stay at the Mangawai Ski Lodge.
Were you going to offer that to them, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, see, this is the problem when we only get these people for like 3... We literally, when we got them in, they said they have to be out of here in 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you supposed to do with that?
Well, we'll have them out in 2.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, you're listening to Daily Bhuja. Plenty more coming up after 6. God, I'm looking forward to the next hour.
Daily Bhuja with KFC's Smoky Barbecue Bacon Bhuja.
Yeah, so we were on the phone to the... I suppose the international specialists for these kind of diseases.
Yeah.
The monkey virus is Ebola, this kind of thing, and they're on the phone and we're going through it, and they have to come and test the vomit. Of course, they've got a child that's vomiting up green and blue and yellow vomit, and they're testing this stuff, sending it to the lab.
Yeah,
we think we've got a case of the weird monkey strain of virus going on here. Turns out he'd just eaten a whole lot of wax crayons.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
God, we were relieved.
Well, kids do that, don't they? They ship. Yeah, God. So how much did that cost you, all the tests and that?
Oh, I tell you what cost us probably more was the crayons. The tests were sort of on the house in a way because they need to know, if there's an issue. But the crayons, I think that set us back about $24.
Yeah. Well, they're not cheap crayons. You know what I mean? They're bloody expensive.
Hey, speaking of kids...
If only people could really see what was happening in that last 30 seconds, I think they'd be appalled, quite frankly. Let's go to the phone lines. G'day, caller. You're on the Bhuja line. Who are we speaking to?
You got Sophie.
Stacey.
Yes.
How you going, mate?
Not bad, and yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Can I just check, was that Stacey or Susie?
Stacey.
Sophie.
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 Yeah.
Are you in the bathroom, Sophie? It's a bit echoey.
In the kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. What's going on, Sophie? Are you obviously at home, I'm guessing?
I am. Just got back from work.
Nice. Turn on the radio, listen to a bit of Hodaki, a bit of Bhuja.
Always.
Good on you, Sophie.
Can I ask, just for research purposes, do you listen in the car on your way home as well?
I do, actually.
Good on you, Sophie.
I had my boyfriend put a band extender in my car just so that I could listen to you guys.
Oh,
nice.
There you go. You must be quite handy.
Totally.
We should extend. Do you know what that is?
Matt, please. Sophie,
Might get to put a band extender on my jeans. If you can do that.
Yeah, well, the way you're going at the moment. Well, particularly if you keep turning up to the gym in your bloody tracksuit and work shoes.
No,
you're going to have massive extensions.
I'm full
in
on.
your
I've
jeans.
asked you to an extra session tomorrow. You're not keen.
Well, I've got to recover from the one I did today. Sophie, what are you calling up about?
I think I may have heard the Bhuja Hawk.
Yes, you did. Of course you did.
I did.
Now, Tom, Sophie got her boyfriend to put what's it called?
A band expander.
A band expander on her car radio so she could listen to Bhuja. By God, Tom, you better unload the entire... Is that it? Is that all we've got? Sophie, I'll tell you what, we'll pass you over to Tom and he's gonna chuck everything we've got at you, okay?
Thank you very much, boys.
Thanks, mate. Have a great afternoon.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Sophie. We appreciate it. Weezer.
Oh, this is the latest one. It's called Happy Hour. What a tune.
Is this the latest one, is it? Bit of Oasis there just to change things up.
Just a bit.
Yeah, just to change things up.
Do you remember where you were when that song first came out?
No.
I think I was in nappies.
I think I can sort of picture the flat I was in when I first... Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I do. I was in Christchurch.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any particular memories of where I was for that particular song. Not at all. Usually I do, which is weird.
I can even remember what I was wearing.
What, when you... Back in Christchurch at the flat?
Yeah.
Was it that tassel jacket thing?
No, it wasn't, but I had
was
jeans.
Was it your waistcoat? Jeans?
I was making patches. I was going through the stage of making my own patches.
Gang patches?
No, patches that I put on my jeans and that.
Oh, yeah, nice. Cool. Speaking of which, what are those shoes you've got on today? What is going on? I mean, they're kind of like a sneaker / boot hybrid.
Yeah, no, but what I'm doing there, you know, I was talking earlier on about do my plastic molding, my melting.
Yes.
So what I tend to do now when I get a brand new pair of boots or shoes, and I've got some leftover plastic that I've been melting down for my plastic bags, I'll make a little bit of a heel. And I'll place it and cover the bottom of the shoe with a sort of a plastic lining. It makes them last another sort of, 4 to 5 years longer, every shoe.
Well, I'm looking at this one at the moment, and to describe it to you, it's a boot, but it's got it looks like a snake skinny kind of shaft, and the main body of the shoe is like a Nike plasticky kind of sports shoe, and yet the top half of it is snakeskin kind of rock and roll, a boot type look.
Well, that's it. So it's just a versatile shoe you can pretty much wear anywhere and be comfortable.
Okay. And what's with the sweatbands too that you're wearing today? Where the headband there and
that's a mental thing.
Okay.
Well, one part of getting back into a fitness training regime is you've got to visualize what you're trying to do, focus. So I'll start wearing sports equipment well before I'll start doing my training.
Well, I remember, and it was really good advice that you gave me actually many years ago, and you said, Jace, if you're feeling massively hungover, just dress up in sports gear.
That's right.
And you immediately feel better.
I mean, like, when you're hungover, okay, and someone knocks on the door on Sunday, you go,
oh God.
And you go and answer it, right? And you're just standing there in your pajamas or normal clothes. You just feel like a loser, don't you?
Yeah, totally.
But if you're hungover and you answer the door in your little sports shorts and some running shoes and a singlet on, they go, God, he reeked of booze. But I bet he's one of those guys that goes hard and probably does a triathlon now.
Yeah.
You don't, of course. You won't be doing that. But you come across like you've got your life a lot more together, like one of those people that works hard, plays hard.
Yeah. Totally. Well, it makes sense.
A lot of effort for a courier.
Well, yeah, but
speaking of couriers, have you... This happened to me the other day, by myself, right, because all my family were away. 7 o'clock in the morning. Ding dong. What the hell? And I woke up, and I don't know how you guys are when you wake up. I know
you mean ding dong, I see.
Ding dong. And I'm like, oh, hello. What do I do now? So you get the old towel and you wrap it up.
You're trying to bend it over.
You're trying to just get it in there. And it's a bloody courier at 7 in the morning knocking on your door.
You half behind the door.
Yeah, going, g'day, mate. Are you all right?
And you got to try and sign something and it's your wrong hand.
And he thought you were very excited to see him.
Well, God.
They must get that lot, though.
What, people with erections at the door?
Oh, was that what you're talking about? Oh, I didn't know that was the...
What did you think I was talking about?
All right.
that's a bit weird.
Has that never happened to you?
Not really. I wouldn't answer the door with an erection.
Well, I
don't think
didn't
most people
have.
would they?
I concealed it.
Well, no normal person would go to answer a front door with an erection.
Well, I wrapped it up, is what I'm saying.
Hey, but congratulations for getting one.
God.
Jeez. Boy,
You're
oh
sick,
boy,
man.
Matt.
You're
Boy, oh boy.
Right back at you.
Cold War Kids there on Daddy Bhuja. I tell you what, I was just thinking about tomorrow. It's the second one-day international, England versus New Zealand. We've got to be bloody commentating that, Lee Hart. Then we've got to scoot across the road and do a radio show.
Yeah.
There's only so many words I can get out of my head and say out of my mouth, Lee
Something's
Hart.
going to give.
Something's going to give.
So it's going to be like a 4-hour day for you. Good God.
Matt.
Outrageous.
I don't know what's got into you today, but we're going to have words after.
Look, it's quality, Matt, not quantity. And there's only so much quality you can get out of one head in a day, right?
Ain't that the truth?
That's true.
And speaking of which, I've got a child's cat flap to give away. You know the ones you had one of those, didn't you?
On the door, yes.
Yeah, the cat flap for the kids. Well, I think it's called the kid flap, isn't it? That you put on your door.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need that anymore because my kids are too big.
Yeah, totally.
And my dog's too fat to fit through it. So this is the one I used on both my kids, so they could learn to come in and out and do poos by themselves outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if anybody who's
Do they
got
still
young
do
kids,
poos outside?
no, because they don't. They use the toilet now.
Right, okay.
It was just in the early teething stages.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, funny you should mention that. I've got my cage to give away that I used to, with the kids, with just the rabbit hutch.
Yeah, you move around the grass.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Didn't you also have your kids training on the dirt box?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, but I mean,
the dirt box for...
The dirt box is sort of broken down now a little bit. I wouldn't be comfortable giving that away. It's not really in prime condition. There's been, the dirt box... It's outside. It's been in the rain and all the conditions.
Nothing more satisfying though as a parent. You're sitting there watching TV. You hear some scratching over there, and you see your firstborn child over there scratching, digging themselves a little hole in the soil, squatting down, dropping a little bit of poos in there, then with their hand or their foot just covering that up.
It's
again.
a proud moment, isn't it?
Very proud moment.
It's it's a part of being a dad, really, isn't it? Those are the sort of memories that I remember the most. Particularly, when they're doing their first poos.
The only thing I remember more than that memory as a child, when I was bringing up kids, was the day that Plunkett came round and saw what I was doing.
Yeah.
That was probably more memorable.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But other than that, yeah. So if you want your child hamster cage, the guinea pig cage, the guinea pig run, I think you call it.
Yeah, well, I call it the run, yeah, or your kitty flap.
Text me 483, and we'll get back to you and get that out to you, young parents.
Bhuja, always keen to help, mate. Ben Harper there on Daddy Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon.
It's just interesting listening to the news earlier on there. The news, yes. The news. And top of the hour news. And what was interesting, that little story about New Zealand, a plane that had to come back last year because a technician or something left a clipboard on the engine before it took off.
Yes.
To keep the paperwork from getting wet, must be splitting or drizzling or something. And then he came back and obviously had been sucked into the engine.
Yeah, got ingested by the plane.
Obviously didn't mention anything to anyone because he thought, well...
God, I'm going to look stupid.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Don't mention it and I might get away with it? Or do you go up to the pilot maybe as he's getting on the plane and go, Brian, just a word in your ear, mate. Look, don't know if it's a big deal or anything, but there may be a clipboard in the engine at the moment. There may be a clipboard that's going through the engine. It might just pass through. Who knows? But if you do get any issues up there, 30,000 feet, engine catches on fire.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. It's not a
It's not a terrorist attack. It's not a foreign object. It'll just be my clipboard, mate.
Definitely be the clipboard. So just probably best come back. But I just thought I'd mention it just in case that is the case.
Well, and it often happens, that sort of thing too, in surgeries and stuff like that, And imagine what that's like, being like a surgical nurse. And, you're packing all your stuff away up after a major surgery. Well, you wouldn't leave a clipboard in there, but, I've left all sorts of things. Scissors, scalpels, and just going through all your gear and going, oh, now, hang on, did I have scissors? I'm sure I had scissors there. What did I do with those?
Mobile.
Or your mobile phone, you know what I mean? Just to be an absolute bloody I mean, I'm the sort of guy that when I leave home, I sit there going, oh, mate, I'm driving in the car going, did I leave the stove on? Did I turn the stove off? Imagine being a surgical nurse or a surgeon going, did I Did I leave my bloody
Yeah.
scalpels in there?
And at what stage you can't sort of go, look, I'll get you back in, I'm going to open you up just to check.
Yeah. You'll just say, you feeling any discomfort at the moment? No, it's all good. Okay, fine. Well, that's fine.
The guy with the clipboard, do you think he was sort of wandering around for a while before the pain took off? Oh, I must have left it somewhere.
Yeah,
Where did I
totally.
leave it? Or did he have an inkling? That's what I want to know.
Well, we'll find out because they've had an inquiry about it. So, yeah, you'd feel a bit of a doofus, that's for sure.
Certainly.
Here's Kings of Leon.
Speaking of which, where's the Bhuja clipboard?
Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hauraki.
Oh, thank God. You know, I mean, I love the radio, Lee Hart, but sometimes, just like any job, it can really drag its ass along the line.
Especially those 3-hour work days. God, they get you.
Can you pack any more into a show, though, on a Funky Tuesday?
Well, I don't think you can, actually. I think we've covered off well, you certainly have. What have you covered off today? Cycling, the Bible,
Luftwaffe,
the Luftwaffe, history, all sorts. You're on fire today.
Yeah, plus we chucked a couple of bronze medal guests in there as well.
Oh, just off the cuff. No worries at all.
Nico
now,
and Zoe, I tell you.
Lobo de Noche, what's going on for you, mate?
Top that. Lobo de Noche.
Lobo de dos tequila, por favor. It's the only Spanish I know, really. Or cerveza. But,
You can
beers
have a couple of tequilas and a beer.
Yeah, it's actually not the worst option pre-night show because it is Funky Tuesday, I suppose. I'll just keep that going.
Actually, that would be quite an interesting show if you had a couple of tequilas and a beer just before you kicked off. That'd give you a bit more spunk.
It'd be damn sight more interesting than what I had planned. That's for
Absolutely.
sure. But I'm going to count down that top 10 deceased overdoses and toppers, or the deceased legends, as it's been put after 9 o'clock. It's so much more. It's going to be bloody good.
That whole list is actually. Remember we were going to do Dead FM or
great idea for a radio
Morg
station.
FM, I think. You know, we play nothing but dead artists.
Were you going to call it the Slab?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking now, it's quite a depressing concept, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is. But I tell you what, you'd have an amazing playlist.
Tell you one thing you'd never be giving away.
What's that?
Tickets to gigs.
Yeah. That's true.
Give us a call now, 800 there'll be none of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd get rid of all that sort of stuff. Hey, New Zealand, it's been great having your company. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back again tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The KC Wheel of Chicken, don't you worry about that. Plus plenty more from Lee, myself, and the Night Wolf, Lobo de Noche. Take care up there.
Right back at you, New Zealand.
Bhuja!